Eamon Khan here, 4 seconds out with former UFC interim champion Tony Ferguson. Tony, it's a very strange thing because when people come over from stateside, they try the English breakfast, but they remove the beans completely. I saw that you had the English breakfast, but you didn't have the beans with it. How come?
I'm not sure. They didn't offer the beans, so when it goes into it, I'm not one to spill them.
How nice one. How about salt? How much salt did you put on your breakfast?
I didn't put enough salt. I'm going to have enough on Saturday.
That's right, because you're facing someone who's kind of known for making those memes, the TikTok viral videos of pouring salt over his food, now into fighting. I don't know if you've seen much of his training, unconventional methods where he's been hitting the, I think it's like a cling film roller over him to build up his resistance. Have you watched much tape on him? What do you think of Salt as a fighter?
I think he likes to sample too much from a lot of different types of people. I think he's smart enough to listen to his coaches. When it goes into it, I don't think that he's changed too much in his game. He's going to use what works for him, which is going to be that southpaw stance in his lead hand and his backhand. So he's going to be looking to do what he's going to do, but he's not going to have that. This Saturday, he's going to have his hands full.
I was quite surprised to see, like in the build-up, it seemed respectful, but then it suddenly kind of switched, and maybe that came from yourself. What was the reason for the switch from the approach or the mindset towards Salt PAPI?
No, it was never a switch. It was just him being a bitch and not being able to admit it in front of my face. So I talk about character, and I'm just a man. When I shook his hand, he kind of shook it like this, and I had to show him how to shake it for the real way. I'm not an influencer at all. When I go into it, I just go in there and make sure I handle my business. So Saturday night, he's going to have his hands full.
So do you think he's playing a game with you or not being the full reflection of himself in front of you when you face him, when you look at him?
Well, I think when he was around his dad and his brother, I think he was just kind of being a little bit more humble when it goes into it. But when you put cameras on somebody like that, it's a little bit different. You see the real person come out of there. This is me, that's him. So I'm not him, so I'm going to go in there and do what I got to do.
I was quite surprised to hear you kind of say that you felt you were being overlooked in this scene, or at least not getting the recognition you deserve from your past combat sports experience. Why do you think that is? Why do you think you're not getting the appreciation you deserve?
I'm getting plenty of appreciation when it goes into it. I think that you guys are kind of looking at the wrong direction when it goes into it. I get nothing but love either when I win or lose, but I'm not here to lose. I'm here to take care of business Saturday night.
What do you think of him as a boxer, as a striker, as you'd say in the UFC?
Who?
Salt PAPI.
In the UFC?
No, it's just like in terms of his striking.
I was going to say in the UFC, he wouldn't stand a fucking chance. But when it goes into boxing, I think that he's got to punch his chance. But like I said, we're taking all those elements away. We're making sure we cross our T's and dot our I's.
So what are you in this scene for? What do you want out of the Misfits boxing experience?
I want it all. This is cool. I mean, to be here, to be in a different country, something I always wanted to do was be able to travel the world. With where I was at with the UFC, it was very unlikely for me to travel. I mean, it was always just in the U.S. Before that, I went to Canada and I went to Mexico, which was cool. But just within the last 2 months, I went to Phuket, Thailand. I've been here twice. I've been to London, been to here, and just filling out my passport and being able to take my family has been pretty fucking cool, man. I mean, that's something that everybody always wants to dream of. So when I go back home and I'm coaching, football with my coaches over there and being able to tell these stories about like either how's the food or how's the people or how's the experiences, that's cool to be able to do that because I was always that kind of guy, like wondering how that shit was going to go. I know some people take it for granted, but I don't. It's kind of experience that I'm going to enjoy and love.
What locations are you looking to hit?
I would love to go to Russia. I would love to go to China. Love to go to Italy. There's a bunch of different places I want to go to. I mean, literally, I'd like to see the 7 wonders of the world. Or is it 8?
So in terms of kind of your hit list for the Misfits boxing scene, have you got names on that list? Who is at the top of your priority?
Usually I would say food, because usually I'm cutting a lot of weight. But when it goes into it, no, it's different. This weekend we have, I keep calling him Veruca because Veruca Salt, but when it goes into it, Nathaniel's going to be the first one that I'm going to go out there and I'm going to take care of business this Saturday, so we'll worry about that after.
There's a MMA going on as well here in the Misfits scene. Is that something you're looking to do? Would you be interested in taking on MMA in this sphere as well?
Money talks and bullshit walks, man. So, I mean, when it goes into it, we'll show up Saturday night and we'll see how everything goes.
I wonder, what about in terms of getting back to the UFC? There's a big fight card going to happen at the White House. Is that something that you're targeting as well?
I'm not like everybody else. I mean, shit, I would like to fight on Fight Island again, you know what I mean? Or in a different country. White House is kind of cool. It would be awesome to be able to do. But, I mean, the only fight that I would want to do would probably be either Conor or Khabib, when he's done with his world tour.
Do you think you would get a fight with Conor specifically in this sphere, or do you think you could get him back in the traditional MMA sense?
Well, we got some things that unfinished business, but I don't think that they would ever fight me. I don't think that they want that.
Are you much of a boxing fan yourself? Do you watch a lot of boxing in terms of just fights that happen within the schedule?
Usually I'm not one to find myself watching sports. I'm always doing them, or I'm out there practicing, or I'm out there coaching. So, I mean, I really don't watch too much. But when it comes into the championship stuff, you know, you have Canelo Crawford fight that's coming up. Of course, I'm going to watch that one. But I'm always into like just watching Super Bowls or championships type of stuff.
At the top of the tree in terms of this scene, when it comes to the crossover sort of special events, you got Jake Paul taking on Gervonta Davis. I wonder what you thought about that exhibition or fight or whatever it might be, but they're going to be facing off in the ring.
I think it's cool. It's kind of like Rocky versus Hulk Hogan. I mean, being real with it, it's a lot of hype, but I mean, whatever it's going to produce something. A lot of people are going to tune in.
Canelo versus Crawford, your prediction on that one?
Somebody's going to get hit.
Have you got a winner?
Somebody's going to get hit.
And we were just talking about wrestling before the interview started, and I wonder if you saw, it's gone viral, kind of the reaction to, it was Rampage Jackson and his son with Syko Stu at an India event where Rampage's son took it a little bit too far, and there's been a lot of conversation as to who was in the right, who was in the wrong, and the actions that Rampage's son took. I wonder what you thought about seeing that video and the reaction to it.
My reaction was just like everybody else's, is kind of shocked at that, but I think that it could have been prevented. I think assholes like people, influencers, YouTubers, or everything else that put too much hype and they try to build some shit up and they put these ideas in kids' heads and they're not fucking saying, hey, reach out and, you know, and be like, it's okay. They're making it worse by trying to do the same shit by sticking mics in their face and doing this kind of stuff, where as some people know how to handle situations and some people don't. And unfortunately, it went a different way. And all you youngsters out there, that's not the right way to do it. That's just not how you do it. If you do have an issue with something like that, go talk to somebody. I know it's kind of seems like the pussy thing to do, but damn, go find a way to vent, because that stuff is just like a boiling pot. It's not gonna go the way you want it to go. And he should have handled it a different way. I hope that him and his family are able to cope and be able to find a solution for everything. And obviously Syko Stu is a little bit better because everybody's kind of worried. But, you know, it's unfortunate that it happened, and hopefully it doesn't happen again.
Well said, but that's sort of part and parcel of this scene. People just come up to you and start beefs and things. Do you expect people to do that, try it on with you, to create a fight and create a narrative with yourself?
I was in Thailand the other day, and I was around a whole bunch of different types of people, we'll just call it people like that, and then people want to square off and they want to try to take me down. Well, me, I'm a different person when I go into the street. I'm not the same fucking person. I'm just not that kind of guy that goes and messes with people. I was on my way to go get a Coca-Cola, and I'm in the middle of nowhere, and this dude tried to take me down. I snapped his arm. I think he was supposed to compete that night. I snapped his arm at the elbow, and then I threw him for 5 points in a Uchimata, and I landed on him, and then I went and I hosted the show immediately, like after that. The guy got hurt and so on and so forth. Another couple people try to do that. But like I said, I'm a different person when I'm not inside the cage or an octagon or in a ring. And people be smart not to fuck with me.
Why do people try it on? I don't get it.
Oh, they don't. They don't. It was just from a certain group from a certain area, and they tried it and it didn't work. But afterwards, the vibe that I brought back to that was, hey, kind of like nice try, and I joked about it afterwards. But like, I have this picture, and I hate to say this and I hate to do it, but when it goes into it, that's me. You know, before I did all this fight stuff, I wanted to be special forces. So, I mean, I like to get stuff done fast and do it quick and then move on to the next mission. Well,
the mission comes this weekend against Salt Papi. The final word with yourself. What happens when you get in the ring with Salt Papi?
I'm going to get in there and get my hand raised. We've done all the work. We're here for Fight Week. We're here to loosen up and get everything crispy. And like I said, I'm here to do work.
Tony, pleasure. Great conversation. Looking forward to seeing you in the ring. Thank you for speaking to Seconds Out. Much appreciated.